As related works for those 2 weeks, I used several animations, films, and even comics. That's why I will try to talk shortly about them. Firstly, using the recommendation of Moon, I watched few episodes of The Midnight Gospel. These animated episodes are similar to my project as the narrative appears disorganized, odd, and inconsistent in relation of what's happening on the screen, and also animation style feels very surreal and psychedelic. This piece definitely inspires me with the style of animation and narrative approach. As I needed to start my animatic, I decided to analyze the pre-production materials for the serial animation. So I found very interesting examples of animatics of Midnight Gospel and Adventure Time. By the way, both those series were produced by the same creator, Clancy Giltroy. Then I want to introduce the film, which is a huge inspiration for me and also situated in the field of supremely unique non-linear storytelling. This one is Enter the Void by Gaspar Noé. The film is told exclusively through the eyes of Oscar, a young American drug dealer who lives in Tokyo and dies in the beginning of the film. And then we begin a cyclic and repeating journey into Oscar's past, present, and future. Oscar is using pieces of his memories desperately to make sense of his existence before he takes his last breath. This is definitely not easy film to watch, but there are so many innovative ideas in terms of storytelling, camera work, work with light and colors. During all films there is no day life. Everything we see through the night state. I picked to my project color palettes for a few shorts, and I use a strip dance scene and transfer it to my storyboards, transferring woman into pigeon. Also, as references, I used incredible comics books which Jeremy shared with me. They are very similar to my project, as those stories are also adult oriented with strip dance scenes, fight scenes, and characters also look like half animals, half people. I was so impressed with the dynamic compositions, varieties of different angles, and color choices. Definitely will use them as references. As I talk too much about related works, I'll just introduce two more, but will write about them in PDF file. Those are the film by Andrei Tarkovsky, The Mirror, and cartoon BoJack Horseman. Few crucial directions have changed after those activities. Firstly, I was concerned about the duration of the final animation, which complicates an already complex project if to consider such a short amount of time that I have for production. During the consultation with Moon, we decided to switch to unrealistic morphing between the main scenes. That allows not to create long additional scenes of the character's path from one scene or location to another. Secondly, as I switch to extreme surreal transitions and morphings, for a while I'll forget about rigging and will start from the frame to frame animation. Turning to pre-production during the scene brainstorming processes, firstly I decided to change the interior of the pigeon's flat to more unrealistic to emphasize that isn't a human flat and it's a real narrative. After a few sketches, I found an idea to make a sofa look like two logs with branches. There will be rocks in the corner of the room and posters with Dracula pigeon and actor pigeon. After that, I made a design of bird phone and bird car. The bird phone has two bird heads on the edges. When the phone is blocked, birds are sleeping. When it's ringing, birds open their eyes and start to yell. I made few characters design sketches with rotation and emotions because it helps me a lot in drawing storyboards and in animating. The form of the body of the pigeon is quite realistic, so I had the trouble to put clothes on and be free with movings of the pigeon in those clothes. But rotation sketches and analysis of real pigeons helped me with this. So I found for myself few ways how to portray moving characters freely. For professional pre-production, I analyzed illustrations and photos which are in the mood of the scenes. Those palettes will help me to find my own combinations for the particular shorts. As the action takes place at the night, all my images transfer the nightlife mood. I need a scene with a light from a TV, street outside the strip club, and strip club inside. Those are storyboards which I will partly correct due to the changing of the plot. There will be two new scenes. First one is the teleportation of the main character from the flat to the strip club through the phone. The phone sucks in the pigeon, starting with the head. That morphing scene was quite challenging for me. I've done few storyboards specifically for it, and then 2 times I made an animatic for this scene because I wasn't satisfied with the first attempt.
See those movements in the blue nothing? See them coming? It's magnificent. See those movements in the blue nothing? See them coming?
As for sound design, I found a sound designer who is gonna work with me. That's why I made this list. I summarized information using the lecture for pre-production. It was really helpful. So I summarized information about the sound which I want. I found some references, and we started to work on it already. For the next 2 weeks, I'm planning to finish animatic and add to animatic rough sound.